Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Just kidding. It's been a while, so I figured I would do a little walkthrough of what is going on out here. I'm just in love with this garden this year. You know, we'll let the cards fall where they may. But for whatever reason, I'm just so, I don't know, thrilled with everything that's going on back here. To me, it's just my idea of wonderful. And I know it is not everybody's cup of tea. If you're not into weeds, if you're into a very pristine garden, this will not be for you. But for my little area, I love it. I love it. That's all. So let's take a look here as to what's going on. My little miniature tomatoes, my yarrow, looks so beautiful. Just so beautiful. Everything is doing wonderful. We've had actually some quite chilly nights, unforecast, quite chilly nights at that. And they've been getting down to like 47, which is kind of chilly for almost June. But it is what it is. And right here, I'm wondering what's going on. It was really windy the past few days. So I wonder if this is just wind blown. I don't know. I'll have to check on it tomorrow. These are those bread and salt tomatoes. And so they've had like a struggle from the gate. I do kind of need to water. Whoops. This lettuce, look at this lettuce. Holy moly. Can you imagine? Beautiful. It's beautiful. I have so many over there. Absolutely packed. And then I did post up some bamboo stakes because I'm going to let these volunteer tomatoes go. They're doing great. Here are my little sunflowers that I'm going to have growing up. I had 3. One of them had gotten eaten. I'm assuming it was eaten. I don't know. There was definitely been some critter activity back here, which I'm not thrilled with, but what are you going to do? My carrots look great. Again with the carrots, you know, I do eat them. I pick them and I eat them, but it's mostly, to be honest with you, because it is a host plant for the eastern black swallowtail. So I let these carrots do their thing. I will pick them at some point, but it's mostly because I normally get like quite a bit of butterfly activity, and I do have a butterfly house that I'll be putting up this year where I will have a better space in order to grow up some caterpillars and set them free. Look at this. Holy shit. Look at this. So this is my, disgusting. This is my chamomile that I left out over the winter. Everybody said that chamomile will not survive. It survived. And look what we got here. There's tons of blooms. I actually picked a couple already. Look at this. Aphids, whatever. Tons of them. Disgusting. I'm just going to actually pick this off right now and kill them. Kill them dead. Gross. But you know what? If you're a gardener, you know what it be. You know what it do. Just do what you gotta do right in the moment sometimes. So anyway, yeah, this is beautiful. How lovely, right? These were actually free seeds from Baker Creek. When I placed my order, they sent me a couple free packs. Here's some cilantro. Since we've had such cool nights, the cilantro is doing great. Once it gets like too warm, that will bolt, and then, you know, I could save the seeds, but I love cilantro. I could smell it. Some people love it or hate it. Here's my pepper plant, doing great. Has some little buds on it. There are some cucumbers. These are called Early Fortune. My cucumbers, I've had some problems. I don't know if the nights have just been too cold or what is really going on. But I've had some issues, but those look great. Regardless, those look really good. My lemon thyme is blooming, and it just is so beautiful. This plant is beautiful. I mean, I can't ask for something more gorgeous, to be honest with you, and I've had that for several years. Here's a Starkleaf parsley. It's gonna go to flower. I have plenty more, so I'm not too concerned about that. Here's my catmint, looking beautiful. Anywho, that big loud noise was my dear husband throwing a bottle. Yeah, so this looks great. Come here, Cash. Stay back here, buddy. It's looking gorgeous. This is some penstemon. Bought that this year. Here are some dianthus. Looking beautiful. And here's where my cucumbers are. I have some cucumbers back here. This one, you could see, looking really not great. I checked the root system. That looks fine. The other ones were alright. Again, maybe it's just too chilly. Like, it's really not. 47 is not ideal for mostly any of these warm season crops. So, you know, I guess that's to be expected. I don't know. There's my little Kajari melon seedlings. They're alright. I did have to remove a sugar baby watermelon because that also got funky looking. I have had some serious, and I think I talked about this in a different video, I've had some serious issues with pest pressure over here. The roly-polies have just annihilated my pole beans. These survived, but literally I just have to keep on planting them. These are at the point, though, I believe, where the stem is going to be a little bit too tough for a roly-poly. I have one over here, and I did start some in some containers just in case. This is my big rainbow. It's going to be great. I have so many extra tomatoes that I always wind up doing this, but I took up my extra bucket, and I have a Rosella cherry, I believe, there. A lot has changed, I think, since my last video. Another big rainbow, big and beautiful. Here are some zucchinis. They have grown quite a bit. Here are some more different things. I keep forgetting what this is called. Desert rose, I want to say. I had this years ago, and what I would do before every winter is I would just take cuttings. This thing roots like crazy. You can literally, oh, you need water, buddy? I have a little pod here for my dog. Say hi, Cash. Cash. Hey, buddy. Are you a good boy? Yes. Are you a good boy? I know. He's my helper out here. Anyway, this, all you gotta do is take a little cutting and it will just grow. So I saved it over winter. I wintered it in my house, and it was amazing. Here I have some white roses that have started to bloom. These I got last year for Mother's Day maybe or something. And last year I actually bought them on clearance around Mother's Day, I should specify. And they looked terrible. Whoever was taking care of them was not taking care of them. So this is really the first year that they're blooming, and I think they're gorgeous. Unfortunately, roses don't do much for pollinators. So, you know, just ornamental, no, nothing else. Which I try to limit in my garden, but you know what? Sometimes you just need something that's there for the sake of being pretty. Here are my other zucchinis. They're both looking great. Again, some Russian sage that'll be blooming at some point. Over here, I filled this up. This is all, well, these are transplants of chamomile that I started inside. And then that's seed of chamomile that I started just by throwing them out. So right here, I have a pot of zinnias. I've also had some issues where my zinnias that I planted out were getting eaten by, roly-polies, I'm assuming. Not great. So in the pots, at least, the roly-polies will not be up here getting them. So here are some of the Rosella tomatoes. On Memorial Day, so a couple days ago, we had such a bad windstorm that it really beat up my plants. So they are a little bit stressed out. Not super concerned about it. Otherwise, they feel really good. So we're gonna see how it goes. Here's my roses. I'm so torn. I want to get rid of these guys, but you know what? How can you? And if I could just do smell-o-vision, they actually smell so good. And this little beauty, I tried to chop her down early this spring, and she just came back, so she's here. The other one I did chop out, and I am grateful. This is a canna that came back from last year, which is interesting because in my zone, you need to dig the canna tubers out. My assumption is that this is a very dry area of my yard, so it did not rot. Typically, they rot in the ground over winter once it snows and freezes, but it stayed alive. So I planted a few more. I have some more little canna buds in there, and that'll be a nice addition. I have some baby nasturtiums coming up. This is a white coneflower getting ready to flower. Here's my compost with my extra zucchinis. They normally do, actually, funnily enough, they do produce a couple zucchini here and there. So, yeah. So now we're over on this end here of my sprawling estate, as you can see. Here is my final roundup of my extra plants. So I do have, this blue container thing is mostly stuff that I have been saving for my friend. She got a new apartment, which does have actually a beautiful garden space, and me and my husband helped her and her family, we helped them clear out the garden space because it had not been used. It was basically an abandoned plot, and so we helped her clear out like so much junk, weeds. I mean, they were up to taller than me. The weeds were taller than me, but we cleared it out, and so now she just needs to prepare the beds a little bit. And hopefully she can get these in the ground. We still have a little time. We have about almost 190 days of growing season here. So, I mean, she should have time if they can get it done like relatively soon. I'm hoping, because I have a lot of stuff for her. I have like a little chamomile. I actually split off some of my lemon thyme for them. I have basil, which is kind of twisted over from the wind. Parsley. I have a bunch of different stuff. This is actually not theirs. This is some African daisies I started. I have my dahlias that I need to plant out in my front yard. I have to get that done at some point. This is Coreopsis. I'm super excited for you guys to see it. They have the most beautiful flowers. It's like a maroon and yellow mix, so that should be beautiful. And here we have my clematis just starting to bloom. They are so beautiful. I live for this. This is another flower that unfortunately does not really benefit the pollinators, but how can you say no to something like that? And just look at all these buds. It's going to be completely covered, and it puts off a glorious show. And then if I'm good about kind of trimming it and deadheading, I should get some more throughout the summer, here and there. This show will be the best show. and then it'll kind of dwindle down. So everything is doing kind of the same over here, my shady area. I took these out of my front yard, these pansies, because, you know, suggested by their name, they cannot really tolerate a whole lot of sun or maybe heat. I don't know. Maybe a combination. They were completely wilting and dead out there, so they're doing good over here. And here I have my columbine and this Estabile. This is actually gonna bloom soon, or at all. I don't know. I planted this year, so that's exciting to see. My little fuchsias. I don't know if I have videoed that I changed the pot out. My coleus looking great. And I just have some house plants actually that I wanted to put over here. I actually only know this by Wandering Jew, so I hope that is not offensive. I don't know the technical name at all. Okay, and on that note, I think this has gone on long enough. I am excited for the coming days. I still have some flowers I'm going to be planting. Lots to look forward to. I've been listening to... I always love listening to podcasts. You know, that's my thing, especially if I'm gardening and I just want some background noise. So I've been listening to some ancient Egypt podcasts, which are so fascinating. You know, there's just so much going on there. So learning a lot. I'm trying to get away from doom and gloom, you know, as it were. It is not productive for me. It is not beneficial for me. It is not serving my highest purpose in life by dooming and glooming. Not even a little bit. So I'm not doing that. I'm enjoying my garden. I'm enjoying my family. And I hope all of you can do the same. You know, we got to step back from... Oh, man. We got to just step back, guys. You know, even some of my favorite people on YouTube... you know, you get lost in the sauce, and I get it because I've been there, but you also have to take a step back and, you know, get away from the abyss before it sucks you down. So I'm happy that I'm not moving on because, you know, current events are always current, but I am, you know, looking into other things and doing my garden, enjoying life. And once again, I hope everybody can do the same and grow something, do something, enjoy your family and enjoy being outside. And, you know, that's about it. So until the next time, peace out.